everyone. I'm Nora Al-Qibandi from Kuwait's Economic Society. Today, I'll be talking about a subject that's dear to my heart as a woman and as a believer in the small and medium enterprises sector, increasing women representation in the digital economy through promoting SMEs. Indeed, there are many ways of empowering women digitally, either through training, social empowerment, cultural change, or even education. But today, we'll be focusing on empowering women through SMEs. We at the Kuwait Economic Society believe that nations should be looking at two figures when they want to look at the inclusion of women in the economy as a whole and technology sector specifically. Number one, contribution to GDP, and secondly, job creation. When we look at the contribution to GDP, we find that the contribution of women to the global economy falls far below our expectations. And when we look at those figures in the MENA region, women contribute only 18% to MENA's overall GDP, far below global figures. Now, this prevents a great opportunity for nations to grow their GDP while having a higher representation of women in the economy and the workforce. Recent studies show that if every country matched the progress towards gender parity of its fastest improving neighbor, global GDP could increase by up to $12 trillion in 2025, or 11% of annual GDP. When we look at the Middle East, this makes up to 5% of this total at around $600 million, again, presenting a high opportunity for economic growth when we focus at the involvement of women in the ICT sector. When we look at job creation, we at the Kuwait Economic Society have done a study in 2021 of more than 400 SME companies, which shows that the representation of women in the SME industry is less than men, at around 25%. And we believe that job creation for the future can only be enabled by having a thriving SME sector. What is the importance of having women in the SME sector? Well, it's because women have a higher digital presence. For example, when we look at Mastercard's confidence index, it shows that 81% of entrepreneurs, which are females, have a digital presence as compared to 68% of male entrepreneurs, showing a good ground for future development of this. Now, how can we achieve those numbers? There are three main pillars. First of all, we have to look at access and usage of ICT. Secondly, pro-women policies. And thirdly, creating economic opportunities for women in the sector. When we look at access and usage of ICT, or let's simplify it as connectivity, the global gender gap is high. However, some nations have shown great advancement when it comes to connectivity. For example, Kuwait, being one of the highest countries ranked in connectivity, has a higher percentage of women using the internet than men. And countries in the GCC, such as Qatar, Oman, and the United Arab Emirates, have shown very comparative figures. Yet, how is it that those nations that have a higher access and usage of ICTs for females still fall far below in both GDP and job creation for women in technology? It's because of the other two pillars, pro-women policies and creating economic opportunities. When we talk about pro-women policies, today we live in a world post-COVID, where we have been presented with new opportunities that many women can benefit from. Having digital platforms, having a new model of work, working from home, we should have more policies that enable women to have those kind of work solutions. Creating economic opportunities, this can be done through two major initiatives, either by networking and having networking platforms, or having women-led financing initiatives to enable more women to enter the SME industry. We need to translate all of these achievements into employment and entrepreneurship to better contribute to the economy through SMEs. And having women representation in rooms where all the decisions are made makes all the difference. This event today is a great start of acknowledgement of women in technology. We aspire to see women-focused financing ventures, skill set building, and networking initiatives. At the Kuwait Economic Society, we extend our cooperation and iterate our belief in the pursuit of diversity and inclusion. Thank you.